right, so welcome to episode 7, Sudden Change Pod. It's your boy Beans. We got JA back. How you feeling
Yes,
today?
sir. I'm good, man. Ready to get at it.
Yeah, missed you last week. What you said you had a workshop?
Yeah, we had a mandatory workshop for work, so I was busy with that for the weekend.
Oh, got you. You said that. I thought it was football related. That was for
Oh,
regular.
not yeah, just regular until this picks up and we can get not work again. Yeah, I had to handle some work stuff, but no, everything's good.
Gotcha. So it's been a while. Couple things to quickly catch up on. I don't think we talked since the draft happened. So a bit of a surprise by you guys first round taking Penix. What was your initial reaction, and then what's your feelings on kind of a lot of backlash I got for that pick?
Yeah, of course. Initially, I was shocked because I wouldn't think they would do it, but after after the dust settles and everybody's overreacting or reacting to it, it makes sense. And honestly, if you've been a Falcon fan, if anybody's watched us play the last 3 years, it's been below subpar football at quarterback, and we missed the playoffs off of the strength of that. We lost, I think, maybe like 5 games or one possession games last year, and that was just bad like quarterback play. So yeah, you paid Kirk, but Kirk isn't 100% healthy. Like if something happened at Kirk week one, whether we gave him 100 million or 45 million, we still have no quarterback. So I get the part of all right, Penix is the future. They're talking about his age. Penix can play 14, 15 years and still wouldn't be 40 years old. So I look at it like that. There was nobody I saw really at 8 that was gonna make us like like the top contender in the NFC or the NFL. Like there was nobody, and even if we would have took him, no one of that like stature went until the 15th pick. Who I thought we would have took was Latu out of UCLA. He didn't go to the Colts till 15, so they mocked us with like Dallas Turner, um, Byron Murphy, and all those guys went later than expected. So um, if it's gonna lock up and he's gonna be our best player for the foreseeable future, I'm cool with it. Because if you watch us play football with Ritter, Mariota, and Heineke, it's a bad brand of football, and we had no succession plan. So um, I agree with it. In hindsight, like just looking, Raheem got his, finally got another chance. So he's not going through that either because he was there. He was the interim when we had Matt Ryan, and we had no plan. And then they chased after Deshaun Watson, and that kind of turned him a cold shoulder to the organization where we had to trade him. We were stuck. We had to go get Mariota. So Mariota doesn't work out. Then we go Ritter doesn't work out after they put all their chips in and they didn't go for a free agent last year. So I mean, you can get a quarterback on a rookie deal. I get we're not using him right away, but anything can happen. Like Kirk isn't guaranteed to
True.
be healthy throughout his tenure. So if Penix can step in and play right away at any moment, it's good for us.
Right. So I know you were saying in the chat, based on the contract, Kirk's guaranteed money is more so at the front end of the contract, right?
Yeah. So his first 2 years is where his all his money's at. So he's getting his guaranteed is in this year and next year. After that, he doesn't have any more guaranteed money. So
So
it makes sense.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
So I would assume I want to say ideal, but I assume the thought process probably is you get 2 years out of Kirk and then you turn it over to Penix.
Exactly. Yeah. So, because their mindset has to be, we don't expect to be bad again, or as bad as to be picking in the top 10. And to move on into the top 10, we all know it's going to cost. It's going to cost you. Like we've seen the price of moving up in a draft. So, if you don't see yourself being good in the next 2 to 3 years, how are you ever going to get that quarterback? When we were right there, and we have our quarterback for now, short term, and we got our guy for long term. And I don't think there's a quarterback coming out in the next 2 to 3 years that's going to be as good as Penix. So honestly, stash him. He can learn from Kirk. He can learn the system. Um, and honestly, like we'll pay those guys before we have to pay him. So he'll have mature veterans with him while he takes over the reins in a few years. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. You talked about injuries. Is there any scenario, let's say Kirk has not a season-ending injury, but maybe misses a couple games here, Penix steps in, plays well. Is there any scenario where you turn it over to him early, even though you guarantee Kirk all that money?
Um, I would think the coaching staff, as you know, they have to have that conversation. Like, listen, we brought you in, but if Kirk is healthy, he's our guy. Like, that's just how you have to see it. Whether he's playing well or not, that's what's riding on y'all jobs right now. It's either we're handing the reins to Kirk, or we're gonna just play, fiddle in who we gonna like. We did this last year where Ritter was a guy, and then Art was like, yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, you have to stand on who's your guy. So if he's playing well, like Penix is still the guy. Like, we know you can play, but I think you still have to just let Kirk go. Like, let Kirk play.
Yeah, and Penix is a lefty, right?
Yeah, so like the whole offensive line,
Yeah, I
like
was gonna ask,
blindside and
like,
stuff.
as you are somebody who played offense and you understand all of that, how big of an adjustment is it, let's say hypothetically mid-season, to go from a right-handed quarterback to a left-handed quarterback?
It's definitely like it's challenging. Even I don't know if you heard Odell Beckham saying like he was like skeptical of signing with the Dolphins because two of the
Yeah,
left-handed quarterback.
right.
So it's just like trajectory, just like aiming points. Everything is different, even from blocking schemes, like blocking his backside. Like right now, if Penix was to play, Caleb McGarry is his his blindside tackle. There's no way in hell I'm letting. There's no Kirk. You're gonna have to play because there's no way he's playing our blindside tackle spot. So I think that will give them a couple years to figure out who's the best fit for his blindside tackle position, and then yeah, like everything changes just from handoffs to just how you receiving the snap to anything.
Yeah,
For receivers seeing the ball differently, like a lot goes into play of it, and also it's a psyche game as well. Like it's just different. It's like you don't really see left-handed punters like that. It throws off the psyche of just football. Like, but
yeah,
Bill
yeah.
Belichick was big on that. Like it was just because you don't see a ball spin off a left foot like that
Mhm.
more than you see a right foot. So it's a lot of mind games to it, but also schematically, like it has to make sense.
Yeah, so last piece on that, because I think this is interesting conversation. As a coach, um, he's going to be the top backup. So I assume in practice, he has to get some type of reps just in case. So how do you manage that in practice, like repping Kirk righty and then having to rep Penix lefty?
Which is like I said, that coaching staff, you had to have already thought about these things
Yeah,
going into the draft. But they said with Kirk's rehab because he's still not 100%. He said by I
forgot
think
about that.
mid June and August. So it's going to be a lot of Penix like going into it. So he's going to have to learn with just those guys of what Kirk is going to have. So
Yeah,
when it's time to start, like weaning him into the system, like then you start making the adjustments. But he's going to have to play as if, listen, I don't know what happened. Kirk just dropped like it's sudden change, like sudden change clearly. Like we got to go and we got to just play ball. So um, they said over the summertime, like it's going to be a lot of Penix getting a lot of reps because Kirk is going to be rehabbing, and they're just going to hold him back from trying to like overcompensate and just making sure he's good as well as getting Penix the reps he's gonna at least need to see before preseason.
yeah. So the injury to Kirk kind of is a good thing because he's going to get thrown in there, and the line will have to get used to him at least a little bit. The receivers get used to him, so it's actually a good thing that Kirk is not going to be there immediately, I think.
Definitely. I love it. It's kind of like a blessing in disguise for Penix because he's gonna get probably more reps than he would have gotten if Kirk wasn't hurt. We probably
Right.
don't even take him. You know what I mean? So this is probably the closest he's gonna get to first team reps, not having his own team. So it can only help him. Like he's already clearly a smart guy. So just the mental reps and the actual physical reps is going to help him definitely down the road.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So that's a good situation for him. Um, so we know that in the new league we have the requirement to start a rookie. So
Mm-hmm.
as you're watching the draft, who are a couple of rookies that you saw get drafted to a certain team? You're like, that's a great fit.
Oh, right off the rip, AD Mitchell going to the Colts. I
Mhm.
love that fit. Like I felt like he dropped a little bit, and I was shocked a little bit. I think he's a great playmaker. Lad McConkey, who I just enjoyed at Georgia for a while, but like him going to Herbert with them getting rid of Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Like I don't want to talk too much because
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
get
who
it.
I'm.
I
Yeah,
get
but
it.
no, I don't. I mean, they're gonna like guys ain't stupid. They see it. Like for the most part, this chat is up to par with football. So, um, those are definitely two guys that like not the Marvin Harrison guys we could just name right at the top, but
Yeah,
there's gonna be
easier
a
names.
few guys that's gonna get a lot of runs, especially it might be a couple running backs we don't even know about that shine and in the summertime and in training camp. So Definitely AD Mitchell though was one of those guys, and Xavier Leggett I like already. Like he was one of
Yeah.
my top wide receivers coming out. Even though his situation with the Panthers isn't the most ideal, but it's a big play target for him. So I think he'll get the looks, and it's something different that they've had in a while. So that could be a good look for him as well.
Gotcha. So when we drafted a running back, I'm trying to remember the name. USC, I want to say. You watch a lot more than me. What's the running back for
Yeah,
USC?
yeah. I forget his name. A little fumble machine though.
Oh,
Yeah,
is he?
yeah,
Okay, so I
yeah.
don't even need to follow up. I don't, we'll see what happens. I don't even ask my next question.
He
Um,
had a little fumble problem, but he all right
yes,
though.
gotcha. Neighbors went to the Giants. What do you think about that? That's interesting because they don't really have
He's
much.
dynamic.
Yeah.
But he's dynamic. He's what they've been lacking though. Like they've
Mm,
had all the intermediate slant out guys, choice routes. You got a guy that can take the top off the defense, and he could do it himself. It was almost like when they drafted Odell, like he could take a slant to the crib, or he could beat you. He could beat you, going for a go route. So like, not saying he's him, but he's
yeah.
dynamic like that with this 4.3 speed. Like Giants haven't had somebody like that in a long time. So
Yeah.
um, as long as they can give him the ball, I'm not sure what their philosophy is after losing Burke. Are they going to be throw heavy? Are they just going to be just a methodical team? Just taking what the defense gives us. But you also got a dynamic player you need to get the ball to. So it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate him into the offense. But he's definitely a player that should get a lot of looks.
Yeah. It's an interesting fit. I think he has the potential. Just a matter of the Giants actually doing something
Yeah.
to, get the ball to their playmakers. Schedule released the other day. We got a chance to see how that's going to look. What are your overall thoughts on your schedule? I know you had mentioned you got what 3 games in 10 days at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think between I want to say I think it's like two through three or 2 through 4 weeks, 2 through 4, or maybe 3 through 5. We got a Monday night, a Sunday night, and then I think we got like a Bucks on a Thursday or something like that. So our first 5 games is kind of like that's the part of the schedule we're gonna have to get through. Like we're gonna find out quick if the fan base is gonna be behind Kirk or not, because you open up with Pittsburgh, who's always a tough team, who
Yeah,
we've had trouble with recently. So you go Steelers, then you go on the road to Philly, and you see Mahomes in week 3 on Sunday Night
that's
Football.
a tough
So
start.
and then if you don't figure it out, if you don't figure it after that, we actually play the Saints right after that, which is our rival, and then we got another division game with the Bucks on Thursday night. So we're gonna have to, yeah. Um, but honestly, I wouldn't want it no other way. Like we're gonna either find out if this is for real, or you know what, we still are not where we think we're at. So it's a good challenge. I wouldn't want to play. At least they will know who we are. Like it won't be. Well, yeah, I ain't playing nobody yet. You know how like those guys like it's like
Yeah,
yo, like let's you went to the home opener for the Eagles. The Chiefs are not. The Chiefs open up with difficult teams as well. So um, we'll just see, man. Like anything can happen, but 12-5.
so I'm looking at the schedule. It is tougher at the beginning. So even if you start off slow, you put wins for your last 7 games, and I can see y'all winning the
Mm,
last 7. So even if you start off slow, I think you got a good chance. You
it ain't
point out
crazy.
you pointed out a couple of matchups that were tough, but you put a win against the Eagles week 2. Why do you like that matchup?
I don't like the Eagles, but honestly, like if we're gonna be the team that like we sign Kirk, like we bringing in these type of players, that's the type of game we have to win. Like they're coming from Brazil. As long as y'all take care, though.
I
Hey,
hope
if
so.
y'all do, whatever food y'all don't finish, we'll finish it for you. Like we got to take care of it. Like those are the type of games. Like it's like you got a chance to win it. Also, I'm not. The Eagles, they're also going through, what they went through last year. Two new coordinators. They're incorporating new pieces as well. Um, so I don't see if they're going to lose, you have to get them probably early before they figure things out. So
Yeah.
that would definitely be a hostile environment, but a game that we should go into looking to win.
Yeah, I was looking at it the same way. I think we lucked out. We both lucked out by getting them early before they really get to put everything together. Um, Especially with those young DBs. I think for us at least, LaFleur should be able to scheme it up so we're able to take advantage of some of those things. But I think if you catch him later in the season, I think they're gonna be a really tough out.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
we
If
were
we would
talking
have played
about
them,
no, go
I'm
ahead.
saying if we would have put if we would have played them any later, I probably would have put an L just because I see them figuring it out. Like you
Yeah,
can't be losing too many games with Bark and AJ and Devontae Smith. Like you're only gonna lose so many games with that crew. But we also see them falter. So um, yeah, like if we're gonna get them, we got to get them early.
yeah. We was just talking in the chat about a big piece of their. Well, I was talking to Shaq last week. He said a big piece of their issue was coaching, and I think everybody saw it last season. But you don't seem to be much of a fan of the coordinators they have now either.
I mean, they're gonna throw the blame on Brian Johnson and who was there? What's the pen? Oh, Patricia. Like they're gonna throw the
Yeah,
blame on them, but at some point you got to make plays as well, and they just didn't make plays. Like whether it was the offensive play, because any play could go to the crib. A bad play could go to the crib. Like at some point, your players got to make plays. It's everyone gets caught up in the scheme. First of all, we don't know what was called if they did it right. Like we
true.
just don't know those things. But it's always going to fall on coaching because that's the easiest out. Like you're never going to say, "Oh, a player did he do his job?" So Vic Fangio, who had I think a stellar defense of actually players in Miami, they were giving up points that it was like going on Oprah. You get a touchdown, you get it. Like it was crazy over there. Like Kellen Moore, I'm not high on. Kellen Moore, I'm not high on. Like
Yeah.
we've always had our questions about Mike McCarthy. He said, "I'm taking the reins," and that offense was one of the best in the league.
Mm.
After we doubted Mike McCarthy for since he left you guys, like just how it was just even kill. He just wasn't doing the most, but he wasn't doing enough either. You know what I mean? So then Kellen goes to the Chargers. Herbert doesn't even look like what I mean. Eckler
Yeah.
is you that talent always been good on paper, and that offense was whether there's injuries or not. Every team has injuries, so I don't hear that part because at some point there's somebody out the lineup. Like there's always somebody out the lineup. So if you're the OC, you got to know how to incorporate your guys, and I just
Yeah.
don't see how Kellen Moore does that well. Even when he had the talent, when he had Coop and those guys, okay, like it was a good offense, but it wasn't like a juggernaut like how they're thinking they
Yeah.
are. And Jalen doesn't throw like that. No disrespect to Jalen, but Dak Dak doesn't use his legs as much as Jalen, so he's
Right.
gonna put up the more yard. But everyone sees how Kellen Moore gets very pass happy, and he'll get away from the run game because that's just what he knows.
Yeah.
So the names sound good. Like if you look at the Eagles, you put all their names on paper, you're like, all right, Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio, but Vic hasn't done nothing in a while. Kellen, you've gotten fired at the last two stops in the last 2 years. So it's like, what? Like, I
Yeah.
get it. The Eagles got the names, but Dallas had the names too. Vic had the names in Miami. Like you had
True.
Jalen Ramsey, you had Javon Holland, who's an All Pro safety. Like you had Xavier Howard, and your defense was giving up 50 points on the road. So you gotta play ball.
Yeah, that's fair. So you mentioned your prediction was 12-5. And like I put
16
it
and
in
one, but you lucky. You lucky I
and
exposed the tech.
like we got a bunch of comments in the pod page, and I got some on my personal page, and all of them, none of them was about my predictions. Everything is about 12-5. People were not pleased with that. What do you have to say to people that say there's no way you're going 12-5?
Why can't we go 12 and 5? Like what if you look at you said our last seven is nice, right? What
Yeah,
So last year we went 7-10. We lost 5 games by the last possession. That right there is 12-5 right there. If we just finish now with a competent quarterback and a better defense, and guys stepping up, more Pitts, better Bijan, I don't see how we can't go 12-5.
yeah.
Everyone's
I
gonna
think
say
it's
that because of who we've been over the last 3 years and what, but you can't deny the fact Kirk gives us the best option to win right now. And
mhm,
when in doubt, whether if Kirk gonna keep you in games. Also, Kirk can take you out of games. But one thing
fair.
Kirk is gonna make sure he's going toe to toe in games that he should win. Like we shouldn't be losing to Josh Dobbs. Coming like just getting traded the same week and losing to Josh Dobbs that don't know the playbook and the center's name.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A new coaching staff that has what I mean. Like everything is just different. And I'm telling you, we could if we don't go 12-5. Honestly, if it's going to be some no, but it's going to be some games we shouldn't have won. It's going to be the games that we should have won. But I don't see us doing no worse than 11-6.
Yeah, and people gonna say I'm biased just because we do this together, but I'm looking at how you put it together. I don't have any qualms with the way you did it. and you even gave losses to the Cowboys. That's the team that you probably could beat, depending on how it plays out. You gave yourself a loss to Seattle. That's a team you definitely could beat if y'all are clicking. So I think 12-5 is fair, but I don't know. The people didn't agree with it. So,
I'm gonna go
um,
log in. Let me see who got something to say.
but yeah, I went 11-6. I think we got a pretty interesting schedule. I put an L for the Eagles week one just to be not to seem biased, but I
I'm
think you
not
could beat
doing
them.
that
I think
though.
you could beat
I've
them.
been doing that. I've been being nice. I'm not just giving an L because, well, I gave too many W's in a row. No, we could beat y'all. Like we could legit beat y'all.
Yeah, I
Like
feel you.
we last year, we only beat playoff teams last year. We lost to the bums last year. We're not losing to them this year.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's definitely a piece of like doing these schedules where you don't want to look biased because everybody's gonna say you're biased,
You don't
but
want you. It's like if you got an answer sheet and you put C three times, you're like they got to be like. No, I'm not doing that, bro. No, we are winning. Like we're beating the
uh,
Broncos, Vikings, Commanders, Giants, like Raiders. Come on, like what are we
yeah,
talking about?
yeah. I think every team I put an L for is teams that we could beat. The Eagles we can beat. The Rams, I think that'll be 50-50. The Texans come to Lambeau. That's the game I want to go to. That's
Yeah,
gonna be a fun one. I hope I can make it because that should be a shootout. Um, San Francisco, I put an L just because we always find a way to lose, even though we had them on the ropes last year.
ropes. Yeah, yeah, had
And
them on the ropes.
Nick Neely was in my inbox saying, "Yeah, you better put an L for San Francisco." I'm like, "Yo, I'm being generous right now. We had y'all on the ropes. We should have won."
See what happens when you have grace. I don't have no more for that, yo. I'm 12-5. Like I don't have any grace.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I split with the rest of the division because that's just how it goes. Um, all right, where were we? All right, so we was also me and Shaq talked a little bit about where we see like the top five in the NFL right now. He said the Eagles were top three. I don't necessarily agree. I don't think you agree either. So what would your top five look like right now? It don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily have to be in order because that's I won't put you on the spot that much, but like what would be you think your top five teams in some order?
Top five, no order. I would say definitely the Ravens, 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 Niners. Ooh, I want to throw the Lions in there. Like, I just feel like if they're not in the top three, they're definitely 4 or 5. Like, I just love what they're doing with that team, and they're locking up their guys long
Yeah.
term as well. I don't know where that bread is coming from. Maybe from the playoff game they had, but Detroit's never, they've never had bread like this. I would say, so we got Ravens, Niners, Lions. I'm gonna give the Eagles like 4 or 5. I think they'll be around there. Them and I the Texans. Like I just feel like they're here now. Like it's
Yeah, I
just
agree.
it's no
I agree.
denying it. I left out. People say I probably left out. Maybe I don't know where the Dolphins are. Right. Like they have the talent to be there, but it's with them. It's just all just doing it. Like it's just y'all got everything. Like what else do you need?
Yeah.
I just like the Texans. Like their off season moves. Like getting Danielle Hunter, and then you go on trade for Diggs, and they're free agents. Like Joe Mixon's over there. Like, how the
Yeah.
hell can you like? And the Chiefs, like like they won the Super Bowl. Mahomes is the greatest in the league, but that team is not good. Like, is I still don't understand how they won the Super Bowl, and I give him credit, like because he gets it done. But that roster is not a top five roster, like at all. I just
Yeah.
don't see it. I just like those teams could like, and all those teams I think beat them. Like the Lions beat them week one last year. Like Ravens, they should have beat them. Like I don't know what that was, the game plan, but adding Derrick Henry like that puts in like you know what I mean. All the Chiefs did, they added a rookie, the fastest person in the draft, but that roster doesn't excite me like that. So
Yeah.
I kind of feel like you got to have the champs here. So if I had to drop one, it'll probably be the Eagles. You can get out. You can't go from 11-1 to a wild card on the road. Like you just can't do that. So you can take them out, and I'll put the Chiefs. So I'll
Yeah,
do Chiefs, Lions, Ravens, Texans, and what's the
Niners,
last
you
one?
said.
Nine. Yeah, yeah,
Good. Yeah, that's pretty much mine. I kept the Eagles in over the Texans, but I think that's just another thing of like not wanting to come off as that guy who's on the Texans bandwagon, but
Yeah.
When it comes
I'm
down to
not,
it,
but it's like
I like the Texans better than the Eagles. I'm just like, it is what it is. I got to
it
stop beating
is.
around the bush. I like the Texans better than like the Eagles. It is what like I don't. It is what it is. But yeah, that would be my five. I'm moving the Texans in five and put Eagles at six. Um, where you
They
put the
got to show.
Falcons at?
We got two new court. We are probably top 12. I would say top 12 to 14.
Mhm.
Because once again, we got a new staff, new OC, new DC, first time DC, and my guy Jimmy. So um, putting Kirk in, but Kirk now has the weapons of Pitts, Bijan, Drake London's finally got a quarterback. It's not a pushover game. Like we're going to be able to actually push the ball downfield. It's just putting everything together. So until we start beating some of those teams at the beginning of the season, I would say we're definitely a middle of the pack team. So oh yeah, top 15, I would say.
I could definitely see it being top 12. If
Hey, what I'm
everything comes
saying,
together.
I'm not spewing BS, man. What I'm saying is for real. Like that schedule nice. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Hey, was it
Um,
a Rams fan that said that? Because I'll go back to how they was acting about 3 years ago. It was like 15 and 16-1. They was
nah,
tripping.
I wasn't a Rams fan. Thinking of, I forgot who used to be on our inbox all the time. I haven't even heard from him in a couple of years. I got to see what's
You
up
know
with
why? Rebuild.
him. That's a fact. That's crazy. Like to think about how people act different when the team start to switch up a little bit. We haven't heard from him in 3, 4 years. That's crazy. Um, but yeah, so lastly, before we get out of here, I asked you to put your fantasy rankings in order for a little bit. So what I want to do real quick, and I think it's fair to do this because we're so far away from the season and so many things could change. I want to do a mock draft, like a live mock draft right now. Let's go pick for pick. You can have first pick or you can have second pick. You tell me what you want to do. And just give a little bit of a reason and why you have them at that spot at this moment.
All right, I'll go. You go first pick. I almost
I,
had. Man. I'm
you
about
know
to
I hate
stress.
first pick. I hate first pick.
I'm about to stress.
There's nobody I like more like there's nobody that sticks out that's just above and beyond everybody else. So by default, I guess I would go C Mac, but there's always that question of injury. He was healthy for the most part last year, but
But you like it's
he can
like
ruin your team
you've
easily.
been too healthy. You've been too healthy. It's
Exactly.
yo, when is it happening? Like you've been too healthy. All right, so you go C Mac.
I'll go C Mac.
All right, you went C Mac. All right, second pick. Who got the pick? Los? Because if it's Los is a quarterback.
Oh, I meant to say, let's do it without any quarterback. Let's just
Oh,
do only skill
what up?
players.
Okay,
No
only
quarterback.
skill
Yeah.
positions. Okay. Wow. So
Oh, I should have said that to you before. My fault. That might have threw off your 10. I should have said
yeah.
that earlier. My fault.
Okay. So no quarterback. So C Mac goes first. Now the question is, do you take Justin Jefferson now because he's got a new quarterback? Do you take Derrick Henry now because he's in Baltimore? It's a lot in the play because things are still, it's just not clear yet. It's still
Yeah.
foggy.
New
Is,
situations.
is Jamar Chase like? Is he there? Like, um, with the second pick, I think I'm gonna go. Man, this is crazy. I kind of feel like it's definitely not your boy A Eck no more. He's out of there.
Oh, please.
Uh,
He out of there.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have to go with Derrick Henry with the second pick.
Mm, Derrick Henry. Okay. So you think he's going to I know they love to run first. Do you think he is at all negatively going to be affected by how much Lamar runs? Or do you think that now they're going to rein in Lamar because they have that bell cow?
It's gonna be one or the other. It's either gonna be Lamar isn't gonna be running like that, or Derrick Henry is just usage won't be as high. But I just don't see how you won't because a lot of teams play nickel.
Mm,
And now with the new tackling rules, you can't do the hit drop. So trying to tackle Derrick Henry don't really make it's a business decision now.
soft.
And
Make it soft.
yeah, it's a business decision now. So honestly, the
Yeah.
league it, get fined or tackle Derrick Henry. Yo, go ahead, Derrick Henry. I'm not getting fined. I gotta bring that bread home. So it should be a big year for Derrick Henry if they're using the rule book right. It's gonna be hard to tackle him.
Yeah, that's true. Um, so here I got a decision, and I mean, no matter, we could talk it through it. Um, I would here I'd either go Reek or I'd go Chase, and I have no idea why, but I just don't like drafting Chase. It's just one of those guys. I
It's
think we
something
all
about
got
him.
those. Yeah,
It's
it's
something
just
about him. Like
we
the
all
type
got
of
that one
flash like
guy that's
that.
just like, yeah. So
It's weird.
I'm also not a Reek guy, but the numbers the past couple of years, especially with two,
Crazy.
it's just it's undeniable. So
That's
with
crazy.
three, I'll go Reek.
Okay. You go Reek at 3. This is harder than what it is because it's like what do you take there? All right, so if you go Reek at 3, I feel like as far as the running backs, that's it for them. Like that C Mac and Derrick Henry are probably the only ones that people would look to take in the first round. So now it's just are we
Mm,
going wide receivers and tight ends? Um, so if you go Reek, I feel like I'm gonna go Jettas off of the strength of just who he is. Like
mm,
like you can't because you're not gonna get like if you're at 4, you're not gonna see him coming back up. So
mhm.
I'm gonna take Jettas and we'll figure it out. Hey, this is our best. Figure figure it out. Like Jettas got to go forth. Like we got to figure it out because you can't sit there and be like, damn, well I took Chase, but Jetta's still over there doing these. Like what he can like, and not saying Chase can't do it. It just it's louder the way Jettas does it. It's
For
just
sure.
it's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
he just he got shades on probably like he just bugging. So no disrespect to Chase ever because like Chase is a dog, but like Chase is one of those big game dogs. Like it may not be the casual 100 plus 2 touchdowns on a random day, but like if he played the Chiefs or the Bills, like he got you 9 for like 185 and 2
Yeah.
TDs just because that's just the type of player he is. So before anyone gets crazy, yeah, it's no disrespect to Chase. Jett is just for fantasy wow, it's just louder.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, if Chase is still there at 5, then I'll go Chase. Once again, I don't love him for some reason. I don't even know why, but I think what do you do? You're going to be throwing probably a bit more than you were before. Now that Mixon is gone, you don't have that guy who you could dump it down to. Well, their running backs are respectable, but it's not Mixon. So I'm gonna go Chase. I think he has a big year. Don't know how the whole Higgins situation is going to play out. It could be injury, it could be internal, whatever, because he got the contract. I don't know. So I'm gonna go Chase at 5.
So at 6, my same like this conundrum just is like, is Tay ready? Is like who's the quarterback for Tay? Like who is Devontae Adams'
Mm,
quarterback?
yeah,
Is it AOC? Is it Gardner Minshew, who we saw can take the reins and turn the team into almost a playoff team? Like he almost took the Colts to the playoffs, and he was not supposed to be playing. Like
yeah.
stepped in for the start. Man, so I feel like here, like so you went Chase at 5. I feel like it's gotta be Devontae Adams, but like who else do we have? Like I'm trying to think. Man,
If you're
wow, this is
talking,
tough. This is tough. This is tough. This is mm, because like is I feel like it has to be like I mean, would someone even chance taking Diggs here? Like would he
it's
just?
early for Diggs, I think.
But you don't know how the offense is. Like, what if he's just we saw CJ Stroud throw that pill around. Like, what if
Yeah,
it's
for
just
sure.
that's my guy? You just don't know right now. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta see those training camp vids, man. I gotta um I'm a wild out right now. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Wow.
Shake it up.
Wow. Okay. I was not I didn't see that coming a mile away.
Who else they gonna throw to? We took Rondell Moore. Who else they
Yeah,
gonna throw to?
that's all they got.
Feed us.
Um, so 7,
I can't wait to see great Jay Green overreact to this. He's having fun. He's pathetic, man.
so I do think is another running back that could go top 10, and it's just I don't know how he's going to be used, but
Take us.
we
Take
saw the fly.
us.
Huh? Yeah,
Take us.
I'm gonna go Bijan at 7.
I,
Like the
I had
potential
Grace.
is
I
too
didn't want to
crazy.
say it. It's
The
too crazy.
potential is
It's
too crazy. It's like if I miss here, I miss, but you got to go with the potential.
if
I'm gonna
that's your
take Bijan.
guy, if
Yeah,
that's your guy, you got to go. I said the two running back thing because I'm like, nah, let me have a. I gave myself a little. I was like, yeah, they're gonna kill me for this Bijan, but I mean, he's gonna be top
yeah,
3 to 5 if they do it right. So,
yeah,
all right, Bijan goes 7. All right,
yeah.
so with the eighth pick, I gotta take Devontae Adams. Like you just like at some point he gonna rip it. Like it's just
Yeah,
you got to take Adams. So I'm gonna take Tay at 8. This is hard without quarterbacks,
yeah. And it's all right. So you go Tay.
and I'm doing this without a list.
Yeah, I understand. So I understand it's people you're gonna have forgotten about. It's people I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this. I forgot all about CD. So I'll probably
Ooh.
go CD right at 9.
Yeah. Honestly, if Dallas is going to be like that, CD probably might get Jettas before like someone. I can see someone doing that just because
Mhm.
of Jettas quarterback situation. I can
Yeah,
see CD hopping up before Jettas. Maybe not Chase, but definitely before Jettas now because
yeah. Given
the
the
quarterback.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll take CD right there, and then
Mm.
10. Last but not least.
So that 10 is usually that back to back. So you could like
Yeah.
you could wild out and get your guy, or you could. Damn, if I had the 10th pick,
So
I'm just
so
trying to
for
go
the
off the top of my head.
so for the sake of like how real strategy will work in the draft, let's say you got 10 and 11. You get 2 because you're coming right back. So you could think about it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not taking about no quarterback. All right, so I'm going. I feel like this was always a spot for Kelsey, but I feel like
Yeah.
times are changing now.
Yeah.
Because you can
He
always take
disappointed a little bit last year. He disappointed a little
you
bit.
could you could take your tight end now, and then you be good, and then you can still get your wide receiver at the next pick.
Hmm.
So at 10, yo, this is crazy. There's so many it's like a lot of guys. I'm just like they could go there, they could go there.
And I could throw a couple of
Damn,
names out since you're not looking at the list, and there might be guys you're not
yeah.
thinking about. You still got Bark. You still got AJ
Oh
Brown,
my god.
Garrett
Oh
Wilson.
my god. Yo, I wasn't thinking about none of them. Like it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
that. Honestly,
Amon-Ra's still there too.
I may go bark. I'll go bark, and then I'll probably come back and take a receiver. I'll probably do
Yeah.
that because I'll get a running back and a receiver. So I would take Bark at the 10th spot.
Yeah. I think
But
that's
AJ's enticing. AJ's definitely enticing there, especially coming on the back to back. Like you coming right back with the 11th pick.
yeah.
Garrett Wilson is going to be higher in demand because A Rod's back. Um, yeah, it's going to be rough this year, and we do the rookies, so this is going to be.
Yeah. That's the X
Yeah,
factor.
honestly, I should have opened up like my iPad or something, and I should have just. That's crazy. Oh, that's a crazy list, and that's not even like that's just me and you. Just like that's not people's like strategy and
Yeah. No strategy
yeah,
involved, just off the top.
we in for a good one. This is going to
Yeah.
be crazy.
I'm ready. I can't wait. That was a lot of fun.
Shit. That just got me nervous. I may
I
get
think
last place. I'm not
Yeah,
ready yet.
I think I'm gonna post a full episode, and then I'm also just gonna post this mock draft as a separate episode too, so people can watch this and just
Please,
comment on this.
they're gonna go crazy when they realize like it's just no Jay Green. Before you post it, watch it. Jay Green's gonna be like, "Yo, y'all wilding. Like I'm gonna run this league. Like this is
We'll see.
crazy. Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah.
But yeah,
Wow,
we're about to run out of time. That was fun. That was a good episode. Anything
definitely.
you want to add before we get out of here?
Nah, man. Hey, just I'm building up the draft lottery, so I'm making it from basically like myself. So I have the ping pong ball. So June 1st, I'll
First
probably go live or something. Yeah, we'll
two
do.
weeks.
So what? Yeah, so what? Yeah, because I come back from Vegas on the 28th. So I'll work on it next week, the week
Okay.
after that. So with the lottery, I'm not. That's not going to be your draft position. So you get first come first serve. Basically, first come off the ping pong ball. So if your name is first, you can pick. You don't have to pick right then and there. That'll just be the order of where you get to pick. So I'll probably give. So the draft is the first. I'll probably give everybody a day. Like the next day, I'll start hitting everybody up one by one. What draft position you want 1 through 10, and then we'll do it that way.
Yeah.
So obviously, the person that gets the last one doesn't usually get
Have a
whatever's
choice.
last. So, yeah. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I have the ping pong. I'm gonna have everyone's name on the ping pong. I was gonna do teams, but I could still do it. I could have two Packers. I'll just put like an initial for you or Jordan. So, yeah. So that should be interesting, and see where guys want to go on the draft. I know no one wants one. I just feel
No,
like
not at
those
all.
years of 1-on-1 is just there's not that one player where like
Nah.
it was AB for a long time, and then Mahomes went, just
Mhm.
going off of just honestly league rules too. So yeah, I'm gonna build up the draft lottery. And it should be interesting, man. Let's have a little fun with it, and then draft will be here before you know it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the first time we get to get a feel for like the new guys and like what they like a little bit. Even though we don't know who we're gonna take, but if somebody wants to take one, then you can start thinking, okay, this is probably what they're
Yeah,
gonna do. If they take 10, you're
honestly,
like, okay, this is probably what they're gonna do. So it's the time we get to feel each other out a little bit on that.
honestly, I'm judging our draft off of the guys that we know.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
figure out
of
the
course.
rest, but once I see where like I already know Los months 4 through 6, like in between there.
Yeah.
Cheese to take 7, 8, like what I mean. Casey's just a daredevil. If so, like Rasheed Rice can go first round because of the off field issues with Casey. Like
Yeah.
Casey take a chance on that. So um, definitely is going to be. I got to study these new guys though. Like it's going to be a while before we see John. I got a good feel, but he's still a wild card because we don't know him yet. So
Yeah.
um, it'll be interesting. And Chance don't really, if it ain't the Vikings or the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
So
I'm
yeah, man,
interested to see if he's a homer or like what kind of drafter he is.
it's hard not to be a homer sometimes. It's hard,
Yeah, I
like
get it. I get it. So we got that the first. What we had a draft date set, right? We picked the date,
yeah. So what's that? August 31st.
August 31st.
August thirty
Okay.
first. Yeah.
Is
So
there
I'm,
any
I'm gonna talk with Jordan. I'm try to do a cookout. Do a
nice?
cookout with it, and then yeah, be different, man. Um, I'll
That'll spark some
probably
stuff.
yeah, I'll probably bribe him in a couple weeks or something. Probably talk to him in Vegas. So
Nah,
we'll
that'll
do
be
that.
dope.
And then, yeah, so let's get ready for the lottery, and then we'll post once we start getting the draft order. And I'll let everybody know you can still pick. You can still trade up until draft day. Like if you want to trade out a pick, that's fine. Also, we definitely got to come up with
Yeah, we gotta do that too.
our last place, and then we need to figure out. There was one other thing. Um, Fines for not starting rookies because I know how they like. I feel like I think each week everyone's going to be. I'm not. You're gonna be mandatory to report your starting rookie. Like you need to hit the chat and report who's your starter. I shouldn't have to go look who. Just report who your starting rookie is, and then we'll check it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely
Oh,
fair.
I thought he was a rookie. I don't hear nothing. Report your
But he
rookie.
was a rookie.
Yo, nah, he sat last year. He sat his. We're not doing those NBA
Oh my
rules.
God. I
Like,
can see it. I
nah,
can see it happening.
report.
I
You got to report. Yeah, report your rookie.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. It seems like it's gonna be
Yeah,
a lot
should
of
be good.
fun, a lot of new fun energy. So I'm ready for it.
I bet. So, yeah, man, we got a lot to look forward to, and it's about to take off soon. Quick too. Off seasons kind of fly by, so it'll go fast. Especially us trying to run it and then being make sure we got everything situated. So, I'm ready though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wear
Uh,
shades though, boy. I'm nervous now. That my boy.
yeah,
Coming in
it's a lot
last.
of names.
Coming, I'm coming in last with that shit, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a good episode. We're gonna try to get some guests on. If anybody has made
Yep.
it to the end of the episode, if you got anybody you'd like to see us get on, let us know. We'll try to work that out. But yeah, we got a few people lined up, so I'm looking forward to that too.
Taylor Rooks, hit us up, man.
Yeah.
We
Let's do it.
I just want her to announce the draft list, the draft lottery. Hey, just announce the picks. We good.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Maybe we can work it
I'm in
out.
them DMs, man. It ain't working, but I'm in there shooting like
Gotcha.
Shaq right now. But
Yeah. You can't score if you don't shoot.
yeah, man. I'd rather go 0 for 41 before I go 0 for 3.
All right, so let us get out of here. That's another episode, Sudden Change Pod, and we will catch y'all next time.
Yes, sir.